Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Matthew Caviola.
And I'm Dr. Mahbouba Hashemi, and we're the naturopathic doctors here at our clinic, Conscious Human Medicine in Santa Monica. And today we wanted to record a video for you talking about food sensitivity tests and specifically what you will get, your results. So the test, as we've talked before, is a blood test. We'll draw a little bit of blood from you, and what we will get is a report containing 94 foods plus candida. So, meaning we cross, the report contains all the macros, so proteins, fat, and carbohydrates, and foods within each category. So fruits and vegetables, different kinds of proteins, all the, different grains, legumes, nuts and seeds and whatnot, and including, in addition to candida and yeast. Then, the way the report is divided is basically, it's color-based. So it's red, yellow, and green. Obviously, as kind of you might expect, green is you're good, you're not allergic to or sensitive to or reacting, versus as we get into that yellow-orange zone, you might want to be mindful, and then as we get into the red, that means you are definitely sensitive.
Green is go, red is stop.
Yes, that's perfect. You put it perfectly. So, one thing that we would like to touch upon is, beyond just the individual. So, that's the beauty of these tests, and also that's the beauty of addressing things holistically. Because when we get your report, it's not just, okay, stop all of these things that are in red. We look at the groupings. We look at how many foods you might be showing in the, orange or red zone. And if there are, let's say, over 10 foods, we start asking questions. Why is that the case? We've talked before about leaky gut or gut permeability, but we'll, give you a short summary just because it's relevant to what we're talking about right now. And that is, your gut lining, starting from your mouth all the way to our anus is 1-2, and it's covered with cellular cells, a line of cells. And we want to make sure that the integrity of this lining, because it's your protective barrier, it's actually maintained. So, and there are things that can compromise that integrity. And food obviously is a major one. And there are foods that are more aggressively attacking the integrity of that gut lining for some people than some foods versus others. And this is what this test helps us. And if the gut integrity has been compromised, then a lot of food proteins that normally would be digested into amino acids and would be totally benign, now your body is seeing as potential for an enemy and starting this immune reaction and attack. So when we're starting to see on your lab result, let's say 10, 12, 15 or more foods that are in the red or orange category, more often than not, it's a sign to us that there's some gut health issues going on, and
right.
It's the gut permeability, and it's not just that you're sensitive to these, and so we start working on that.
Yeah, so sometimes it might just be small yellow reactions as well.
Yes.
So we might have these more severe reactions and then also yellow reactions, so things that you might not even be expecting to be reactive to. So some more benign foods, as you mentioned, and so the more foods that you're reacting to, the higher the likelihood that you have intestinal permeability or leaky gut. So then, as you mentioned, we really want to start doing some heavy-duty repair work to get that barrier healed up nicely, so you don't continue to react to food proteins in your bloodstream.
Absolutely.
So we wanted to talk to you about a case to kind of talk about why this is relevant and how this can help you. So, everybody, we would probably say that 80 to 90% of people have some degree of food sensitivity. Only a small percentage of people have food allergies, which you might have heard of, which is kind of this immediate reaction to a specific food. But then people have these delayed reaction sensitivities where it can manifest anywhere from 3 hours to even 3 days later after you eat a food. So what we want to talk to you about is everybody has a unique reaction. So some people have a headache. Some people have a joint pain, right? Some people get gut problems. So everybody kind of has unique reactions or different sensitivity reactions. And this also sets up the cascade for inflammation building up and then also chronic disease later on.
Can I just point something out
Absolutely, yeah.
to what you were saying? So what is important, the takeaway that we want you guys to hopefully have is not always are you going to end up with a belly pain, stomach ache. So that's not the only way that you can tell that you're having food sensitivity. So all the things that you mentioned,
Right.
in addition to just fatigue, you're eating something and then afterwards your mood changes, your energy levels change, your bowel movements change. So all of these things can be a sign that something that you ate or are on a daily basis eating is not sitting well with you and it's not serving you.
Right, and to piggyback on that, you should feel good from the food that you eat. You should feel energized from food that you eat, not sapped of life, right? So it's really important to feel good from the foods that you're eating. If you're having some kind of reaction to food you're eating, this food sensitivity test is definitely a great idea. So what we wanted to talk to you about is a case. So this was we actually had a 25-year-old patient who had really, really bad stomach problems, kind of having alternate diarrhea and constipation, very, very bad skin problems. That was one of his major complaints. And overweight, was 80 pounds overweight. And so did a food sensitivity test on this patient, came back very, very high for gluten, for dairy, and for nuts in particular. So almonds were very, very high for this particular patient. And so by eliminating these particular foods, patient's energy skyrocketed. A reaction that he wasn't thinking about, but his mental clarity got much better. So kind of describe this as kind of a veil being lifted off of his face. He could just kind of like start to think clearer again and learn better and be able to process better. His gut problems cleared up. And one of the biggest things was that his skin problems kind of just dramatically improved by eliminating gluten, dairy, and nuts. So this was a really awesome case, and it's not always as clear cut as this, but a lot of times it very much is. And to see the progress, this patient also lost 80 pounds by eliminating food sensitivities, by changing his diet, which we definitely help the patient do, and also exercise. So diet and exercise is the foundation of everything. So what you don't know is that actually this patient was me. And so back in my early 20s, through the power of diet and exercise and food sensitivity testing, I was able to lose 80 pounds and be able to keep it off for decades later. It makes me sound very, very old, actually. It's not decades. It's like more like less than decades. But it's dramatic, and not only that, but this is just one reaction. We've seen people overcome all kinds of health concerns using food sensitivity testing. And if you don't know where to start with your health, start with this. It can be life-changing for people, including myself. You did a food sensitivity test as well, and we hope that you're able to get the same benefit and be able to work on your chronic conditions or even other conditions that you have that you're looking to work on.
And get some answers, pain issues, like random pain, wandering joint pains, all kinds of issues. And also, something that really stood out in the story that I've heard before, but you were saying is, almonds. Yeah. Almonds are supposed to be a healthy food.
But poison for me.
Exactly.
Poison for me.
So again, remembering that your individual needs and health goals is going to be very much different than even the same people in your family or people in your own families. So
what I would also say is information is power.
Yep.
Being armed with that information, especially nutritional information, can make a world of difference for you and also your family members as well. So we hope that you're able to take advantage of food sensitivity testing. If you want to do this test, give us a call at our clinic, and we're happy to help you out.
Yes, and please, if you're finding this information useful, share it.
Please do, yeah. So thanks very much for listening today, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.